Hi, this is Jen from Floppy Pottery. Thank you for joining me today. I thought today's studio talk, I would talk a little bit about handmade, what that means to me, and I think what it means to other makers, whether it's potters, knitters, artisans. I think we all kind of share a similar passion for handmade. So hopefully I'll be able to explain why I thought this video should be done, at least for me. After my last video, I spoke to my husband and I was asking him, what do you think I should talk about? Because you run out of topics and you start wondering, what do people want to hear about? And so he was thinking of all the times that we've done craft shows, and he was telling me, I think you should talk about what it means when you make something. Because he remembers in a lot of our craft shows, when people come into my booth and they start looking through my pieces, he's like, there's always somebody that'll comment on the price. And he's like, I've heard a lot of people saying, oh, I can find this for so much cheaper at such and such chain store or big box store. He's like, I think you need to talk about why handmade can be a little pricier, but you also get better quality. So I thought about that for a while and started thinking, he has a point. I'm like everybody. We go shopping, we try and find something that's affordable, but you also start realizing when you walk into stores that it's always the same stuff. So I had walked into one of the local stores, one of the chain stores in my area, and I went into their houseware section, their dinnerware section, and I started looking at the shelves, and everything was the same. It was a collection of white plates, white mugs, white bowls. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, because, there's an aesthetic for everyone. But what I started realizing was there was no individuality. Everybody was kind of being forced into being the same. So I started thinking, well, I like color, and I like just different things. So my pottery, I think, reflects that. And I think a lot of people who are crafters, who are makers, that's what we're striving to do, to create things that are different, that you don't find in mass-produced products. And plus, you know where it's coming from. So when I have people come into my booth, they're talking to the maker. They get to talk to me. They get to hear the story of how this was, whatever product they're looking at, how it was built. And they have that interaction with me, which I think sometimes is missing when you go into a bigger store, because you're getting a product and you don't know anything about it. You don't know who it came from. You know that you're maybe helping a large company, but handmade is just, in general, more personal. The person that made that is maybe a mother or father. They may be like me, working 2 jobs. I have my full-time job, and then in the evening, my husband will, sit down with him for a couple of hours. We'll have dinner together, we'll watch TV, and then I'm engaged in something related to my small business, whether it's making a new piece of pottery or going on my social media or updating my store. I'm doing something. And it's an incredible amount of work for usually one person. Most small business owners that I've talked to, especially makers, we do it all. We are marketers. We are social media people. I guess that's marketing. We are hustling to get our products out in front of you guys. And it's incredibly, incredibly tough. When I go to craft shows, a lot of times you don't see, and I myself even took it for granted when I would show up at a craft show. I'm like, oh, this is great, all these little things. But I never realized the amount of effort it took until I started doing them. Setting up your tent. Usually we're showing up 2 hours before the show even starts. Some of us are driving very long distances to get to that show. And if it's not raining, it's a good day. If it's raining or if it's snowing or cold, hot, we show up. And, we start with setting up our tents, then laying out our products. And sometimes we're there, setting up. It takes us over an hour just to set up a show. And then same thing when we're breaking it down. So it's amazing because I had never realized how much work it took to make something. Even to make a piece of pottery. I throw it on a wheel or I make it, using the slab. Then I have to trim it. If I'm making a mug, I make the mug, make the handle separately. This then gets attached to the mug. Then you have to glaze it. All of that takes time. Then comes the cost. I never realized how expensive pottery could be. It starts with the kiln. Whether you're firing in a group studio, usually you're paying dues. If you're firing at home, you're paying for the energy usage on that. Then your equipment is also expensive. Your glazes are expensive. Your clay is expensive. Your tools. I think a lot of potters anyway try and do a lot of DIY pottery tools. We'll go into a store. A dollar store has become a favorite store of mine. We look at placemats for texture. We look at clothing. I've gone into thrift stores and purchased sweaters with interesting knit patterns, just so I could use it as texture for one of my pieces. Hardware stores. You try and get as creative just to minimize the cost. But I think that sometimes is lost when you go to a show or somebody sees your product, because of course they're seeing the end result and they have a budget, and I fully understand it. But I think sometimes they forget that we don't run a factory. We don't have endless supplies of people and of product to churn out all of these products that we're doing. A lot of us are doing things by hand, and that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And that's why I thought I'd do this little live talk about what it means to be handmade. Because when you are buying something from a crafter or a maker, you're actually supporting them directly. You are giving them more money so that they can go and buy supplies to do what they do, what they have a passion for, what they love. You're also encouraging them. You don't know how much it means when somebody picks up a piece and tells me that they're interested in buying it. I do a little happy dance inside. First of all, I'm still in shock that somebody wants to buy a piece of mine, that they found something beautiful in it that connects with them. If they want to make it a gift, that they feel like it's something that is expressing their feeling towards the person they're giving it to. It amazes me. It blows me away anytime somebody buys something either from me directly at a craft show or even online. And I think you're also providing encouragement to that person to keep on going. Whenever you buy something, it's just giving them more fire to keep on doing what they love, and just support. Ultimately, it comes down to that. So thank you again for everybody who's, I guess I haven't glazed anything. I guess I had a lot to say. But for anybody who's ever purchased from me or from any other crafter or maker, thank you. Seriously, it means a lot. And we hope, at least I should speak to myself, but I hope when you use my product, you can see the effort that I put into making it, and that it gives you a smile and brightens your day. If you're using one of my mugs in the morning, that it makes you smile and helps you start your day on a good note. And I hope that you just consider next time, if you're at a show or if you're looking through your Instagram post and you see something that says handmade, just stop. Just look at it. you never know. Maybe you'll see, hey, this is actually something really special and something that I don't find usually in the stores. So thank you again. Again, this is Jen from Floppy or Pottery, and thank you for spending time with me this morning. Bye.